Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 22, The Marriage of Kardamani and Devati, text number 13th and 14th. 13th we'll read. Yavudhyatam anadhritya Kinasham abhyachate Kshiyate yadyashahaspitam Manaschavajnaya hataha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Bhai Charnaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. One who rejects an offering that comes of its own accord but later begs a boon from a miser thus loses his widespread reputation and his pride is humbled by the neglectful behavior of others. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The general procedure of Vedic marriage is that a father offers his daughter to a suitable boy. That is a very respectable marriage. A boy should not go to the girl's father and ask for the hand of his daughter in marriage. That is considered to be humbling one's respectable position. Swayambhuva Manu wanted to convince Kardamuni since he knew that the sage wanted to marry a suitable girl. I am offering just such a suitable wife. Do not reject the offer, or else, because you are in need of a wife, you will have to ask for such a wife from someone else, who may not behave with you so well. In that case, your position will be humbled. Another feature of this incident is that Swayambhuva Manu was the emperor, but he went to offer his qualified daughter to a poor Brahmana, Kardama Muni, as no worldly possessions. He was a hermit living in the forest, but he was advanced in culture. Therefore, in offering one's daughter to a person, the culture and quality are counted as prominent, not wealth or any other material consideration. The sense of Bhaktivedanta.
Read the next verse also. Aham tva shinavam vidvan vivahartam samudhyatam atastvam upakurvanaha prattam pratigrahaname. Swayambhuva Manu continued, O wise man, I heard that you are prepared to marry. Please accept her hand which is being offered to you by me, since you have not taken a vow of perpetual celibacy. Purport. The principle of brahmacharya is celibacy. There are two kinds of brahmacharis. One is called naistika brahmachari, which means one who takes a vow of celibacy for his whole life, whereas the other, upakurvana brahmachari, or a brahmachari who takes the vow of celibacy up to a certain age. For example, he may take the vow to remain celibate up to 25 years of age. Then, with the permission of his spiritual master, he enters married life. Brahmacharya is student life, the beginning of life in the spiritual orders, and the principle of brahmacharya is celibacy. Only a householder can indulge in sense gratification or sex life, not a brahmachari. Swayambhuva Manu requested Kardama Muni to accept his daughter. And since Kardama had not taken the vow of naistika brahmachari, he was willing to marry the suitable daughter of a high royal family was presented. He was willing to marry, and the suitable daughter of a high royal family was presented. So Swayambhuva Manu is requesting Kardama Muni with various reasons why he should accept his offer, the offer of giving his daughter in marriage to Kardama Muni. So, various reasons are being quoted by Swayambhuva Manu. Different logic is being put forth to Kardama Muni. And all these logic, they're all just like one who rejects an offering that comes of its own accord, but later begs a boon from a miser, loses his widespread reputation, and his pride is humbled by the neglectful behavior of others. These are the intricacies of the laws of karma. So, not that Kardama Muni has to get into this wedlock because of those reasons, because he was an elevated person and he was a Muni, Brahmana, a hermit living in the forest. And Prabhupada says that he was advanced in culture. So therefore the king was offering his daughter to him. Somehow or the other, by will of providence, Kardamuni has also decided to become a grihastha. So there is nothing absolute like, one should not become grihastha, one should remain brahmachari, etc. There is nothing absolute as far as the material condition of the living entity is concerned. He can be in any varna, he can be in any ashrama. But it is up to the person to make a decision how he should, what ashrama he should choose, etc. He should have good reasons. Reasons means with knowledge, not social reasons, not prestige reasons. Oh, I'll be a brahmachari, I'll be a sannyasi, that'll be great. Not all those things. For one's own internal reasoning, not for this society thing, for his own internal reasoning, he may decide either to become grihastha or not become grihastha, remain a brahmachari. If one is very serious about chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, serious about spiritual life, seriously dedicated to Prabhupada's mission, the Prabhupada himself set the precedence of admitting grihasthas into the ashramas, unlike Gaudiya Math, where no grihasthas were admitted into the ashramas. So he created a system, and Prabhupada said that if you can live like a brahmana, husband and wife, then you can live off the temple. But if you want to live like a regular grihastha, have all the, what the Shastra says, how a regular grihastha should be, then he should go out, earn money and be that. That also does not stop. If the person is chanting Hare Krishna, that also does not stop. But these are all uphill tasks. To be in the midst of opulence, be in the midst of acquiring so many things, definitely the quality of one's chanting, quality of one's advancement will come down. So devotee should, whoever is taken this path of Krishna consciousness should understand that it is a path of ultimately catering to the minimum needs of the body and the mind. Whether one is a brahmacharya, grihastha, whatever it is. That is the principle. The principle is not to acquire things, not to create possessions, not to have a luxurious lifestyle. These are all the principles, irrespective of what the ashrama is. Because once a devotee has accepted the path of Krishna consciousness, what is his decision? His decision is maintain my body and soul, my society, connections, all these things to the minimum. Certain things are required, I should maintain those minimum things. And where is my expansion? My expansion is internal. My expansion is to move forward in Krishna consciousness. My expansion is in understanding transcendental knowledge. My expansion is in understanding very clearly the difference between matter and spirit. And after understanding clearly the matter and spirit, I want to advance in the spiritual direction, not in the material direction. One has to be very alert, whether one is a grihastha, one is a sannyasi, vanaprastha or a brahmachari. He has to be in Krishna consciousness, means you have to be situated in jnana. Jnana avastita chetasaha. Because devotion service is yajna that one is performing. Yajna has to be performed in a situation transcendentally situated. Transcendentally situated means minimum starting point is I am not this body. I am engaging this body in service of Krishna. So that situation that I am not this body, then automatically when you understand I am not the body, then your interest will move from body to soul. Your interests, your desires, your ambition all move from body to soul. Whenever I say body, means body and society. Body means body, mind, intelligence and ahankara, material intelligence and ahankara. Especially body means I am the body, means I am part of this society, and part of this society means I have dependent on so many people's appreciation, so many people's praise, so many people's recognition. You become a social being. A devotee actually cuts off all this social recognition business. He does not do devotion service for others. He does devotion service to please Guru and Krishna and the system that is coming, transcendental system. He is not interested what the other devotees think of me. I am good, I am bad, I am intelligent, I am unintelligent. I got result, I didn't get result. Then you are still hovering around in your bodily concept of life. So to this, the answer to the question that what ashrama I should be, that is a secondary question. If primary question you should answer. If you answer the primary question, then the secondary question is not an issue at all. The Lord will direct and guide and whatever it is required. And also it is a point that if one learns when one is a brahmachari, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is so powerful that one should take one's own decision based on proper association of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is very important in the matter of change of ashrama. In the matter of change of ashrama, don't follow anybody else. Because each person's situation is unique. Each person should take his own decision based on his own situation. It is not something to be followed. Oh, he is a grahastha. He is a leader, he is a grahastha. So I can also be grahastha. These are all big traps. As far as change of ashrama is concerned, which ashrama you choose, that ashrama, anywhere you can get encouragement in that ashrama, after you choose, then you take them as role models, no problem. Otherwise, you will always find, whether I should be a grahastha or whether I should be a brahmachari. Naistika brahmachari I should be, or whether I should become a grahastha. Though if that question arises, and if you depend on role models, for both you will find enough role models. For both you will find enough role models. Therefore, role model should not be inspiration from a role model should not be a criterion for you to change ashrama. By changing ashrama, the devotee should consider his own situation, his own thinking. It cannot be influenced by outside things. And chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the medicine that is we are taking every day is so powerful that one need not think that I cannot maintain a brahmachari life. Therefore, I should become grahastha. This is also another very wrong paradigm of life. One who fails as a brahmachari will also fail as a grahastha. If because he is seeing that I cannot control this, therefore I have to become grahastha, he will fail there also. One should enter any ashrama as a respectable ashrama. A process. Here is a certain rules and regulations. Now I am going to shift from this rules and regulation to that rules and regulation. So one's reasoning should be, here is a set of rules and regulations I can follow. Here is certain set of rules and regulations I can follow. Both options are available. Shall I move from this to this? That is how you should think. Because as far as the change of ashrama is concerned, it is not a license for, weakness in the principle of brahmacharya. It's not a license. Because the principle of brahmacharya in the grihastha ashrama is equally tough. Is equally tough as the principle of brahmacharya, for a brahmachari. Is equally tough. Thinking that this principle will be ease out, so therefore I shall become grihastha. No, it will not. If one can keep away from this subject matter, and as I always explained, this conditioning of sex is 99% is in the mind. It is in the mind. And by hearing Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the mind's amplifying, the mind's amplification is flattened. And once that mind's amplifying, because this comes as such a powerful desire, the devotee can get scared. Oh, this desire is so powerful. My mind is completely bewildered. Like that. One should understand that it is the mind that is causing most of it. 99%. It is not the sense object that is causing it. It is the mind that is causing it. Once you understand that, you say, okay, the problem is right here. Can I do something about it? The problem is right here, not outside. If you assign the reason outside, oh, sense object is so powerful, I cannot resist, because everywhere sense objects are there, better I become grihastha. That perception itself is wrong. The sense object is only a trigger. Your perception of the sense object is in your mind. Your desire, hope, all these things are in the mind. And the biggest factor in this material world about sex life is Sat paradigm or the power paradigm. It is about lauding. It is about possessing. It is not really about sensuality. It is not about sensuality. So we think it is sensuality. It is not sensuality. That is not the pulling factor. The pulling factor is our desire to possess. Desire to control. So one has to use intelligence, understand the words of Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna says, how Kama comes, how Krodha comes, all those things, how by association with three modes these things come. From association, attachment comes. And when you contemplate, then attachment comes. Then from that, desire comes. So desire is what creates all problems in life. So we have to be extremely careful in what we desire. Desire means what? I want it, or I want to do it. This is desire. Desire to do, desire to possess. Desire to do is a whimsical freedom rasa. I will do it. This is a whimsicality. It is a rasa of the soul, conditioned rasa, not pure rasa. I will do what I want. One desire has come, it has to be done. I will do it. This is whimsicality. Whereas the Vaishnavas are in the paradigm of not whimsicality, in the paradigm of obedience. I am asked not to do, I will not do. My spiritual master says it should not be done, I don't care, I will not do. A non-Vaishnava thinks his restriction is, his freedom is unrestricted. I want to do, I have to do. So by chanting Hare Krishna, hearing Hare Krishna properly, we transcend the body. We see matter and spirit separately. We see matter is influencing the spirit. Therefore, material body has to be managed very separate, has to be managed as a separate yantra. And in its yantra, the mind is a major factor for creating all this amplification. Where there is no pleasure in the sense object, it creates a pleasure. Where there is little pleasure, tucham, little pleasure, as per design is created by material world, by the material energy maya. And the amplification is done by my mind. My mind is my culprit. If my mind has no desires, none of the sense objects actually has an influence over the living entity. Only a little will be there. Momentary it is. Beautiful things will disturb you for a moment. Moment you have desire, that momentary disturbance will be amplified into something else. You cannot deny that Maya has created attractive things for all our senses. Tongue, eyes, everything it has created. But the objective value of the sense object is only very minimum. The bigger factor is the mind. Just like you see how easily you give up tea and coffee. It is an addiction, right? We have given up tea and coffee. Very easily you give up. Afterwards you don't go back onto it also. You become devotee, then you don't go back to tea and coffee at all. But that was also a structure in your habit in your mind. Say you joined at 23 years. For 23 years at least, maybe from the age of maybe 2 or something, you started drinking tea or coffee. 21 years you have done that. And yet, like this, you give it up. Why? Why that same thing is not applicable to attraction to opposite sex? Addiction. Addiction to see the beauty of opposite sex. Addiction of the eyes, urge of the eyes. Why it does not? Because in the matter of tea and coffee, you are given from beginning. You are not starved. You drank. It created the structure of a habit. Little pleasure. What is that pleasure? Tea taste and rest of it, nicotine or caffeine for the brain. It gave some intoxication to the brain. So brain was rewarded. It became a habit. It sat there. Every day you are getting. You did not involve your mind too much in contemplating about the taste of tea and coffee. Did you? Did not. If at all somebody has, coffee ilde agodilla. They tell 100 times, such people can never give up coffee. Can never give up coffee or tea. Because the mind is involved and it is amplified. The pleasure is amplified. What is not there in the coffee also, that pleasure is amplified. So from this you should understand, the phenomena is same, that is also an addiction. Suppose you are used every day 10 o'clock 1 cup, evening 4 o'clock 1 cup. 10 o'clock your brain will ask, 4 o'clock your brain will ask. In the same way, addiction. You see opposite sex, you have addiction, you want to see whether, you want to assess. That itself is pleasure. Conditionally, I wants to see beautiful things. But in this case, in the coffee, your mind was not involved. Here the mind is involved, continuously involved. Why? Because, too much teasing is there. Tea, coffee every day is given to you. But this one is not given to you. You only have to watch. Anything like that will build up. So desire factor is so big in this, artificially created. Desire factor means desire to possess, desire to get, desire to do what you want. It's such a big thing. It amplifies the pleasure. What is there also not created by the head in our hand. And then, it becomes... So the only way to give up this is to go back and handle the desire. Urge is different, desire is different. Urge is an objective demand of the body. Urge is an objective demand of the body. Desire goes and over it and amplifies it. Desire means I want it when you say. Let's say there is an urge. If you say I don't want it, even though urge is there, you say I don't want it, desire is not there. It is easy. So before you control anything, first you have to say I don't want it. If you go on telling yourself I want it and try to control it, is not going to help. So I don't want it, you have to say. So these are all different skills of brahmacharya, which we have to, especially in these modern days. In the earlier days, the atmosphere was such that if you be in the atmosphere of a brahmachari in the Gurukula ashram, automatically you follow everything, be a very obedient person, your brahmacharya will go properly. But now also it will go properly, because obedience, highest obedience is in chanting and hearing properly Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is even easier than before. Before, kids were just chanting any mantra every day and some training was there, so they were able to. That was their basis or strength for maintaining brahmacharya. But today, from day one, we are given the most powerful mantra. And for 2 hours, we are chanting. So the factor of environment can be ignored if one chants nicely. Does not matter what modern Kali Yuga environment or what environment is. One will get the spiritual strength to remain in transcendental platform of I am not this body. I am using this body. I am not this body. Of course, as far as brahmachari ashram and grahastha ashram is concerned, the difference is in the brahmachari ashram, in the grahastha ashram, a license is given to a limited extent for indulgence in sex, for procreation. That is all. So therefore, nobody should enter grahastha ashrama thinking that, I have outlet for all my lusts. Big mistake. A limited outlet is given, and that is converted by the Lord into some service of the Lord, which is for procreation. Is converted. And then once it's converted, then the grahastha devotee has to be very responsible for his children. He has to be very responsible. That is a universal law. Your wife, your children, you have to become responsible. If you execute your responsibility nicely to Srila Prabhupada and Krishna, then all other responsibilities Prabhupada has arranged in such a way, it will automatically get satisfied. But if you are not executing those responsibilities, then you will get attacked by Maya. Struggle for existence will begin. Struggle for material existence will begin. Desires will start manifesting. Material desires will start manifesting. Any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. For Mayavadis, it's very easy to practice brahmacharya. They negate the matter. When we come to Vaishnava philosophy, we don't negate the matter as such the Mayavadis do. So how can we incorporate some principles from there, or it's very difficult to...
Mayavadis is not easy. They work very hard. For brahmacharya, they must be working at least 100 times harder than us. Through their mind. Here simply chanting Hare Krishna, dancing, taking prasadam, you can control brahmacharya.
Basic thing, they say everything is Maya.
Huh?
They negate everything, Prabhu. Like,
no, this negating will not work because absolutely, if you take in absolute sense, women exist, men exist. Beauty exists, beautiful relationship exists. Rasa exists. This is absolute. But this all exists in the spiritual world in Satchidananda form. Satchidananda is duplicated in this material world with flesh and bones and all these things. And then it is detestable that anybody tries to imitate these rasas in the fleshy body. Then spiritual life and this doesn't go together at all. Finish. That's the end of it. One is growing horizontally for spiritual, for sensual sense gratification. Whether body or mind. People think sex means gross sex. No. The most dangerous sex is in the mind. Sex is easily conquerable. Gross sex is easily conquerable. Like Prabhupada says, even, so many animals, they don't even have sex once a year. Brahmachari is there. What example he gave? Which animal he gave? Huh? Elephant also. And some other animal. Huh? Monkey? No. Anyway, I don't remember. I remember. I cannot recall. Two examples he gives. One he gives of pigeon, of addicted to any number of times a day, sex. So it's just a variation. It's all bodily thing, how bodily construction is there. It's not absolute. Maya is not about it. Maya is about relationship between the bodies. And the biggest Maya, our relationship between man and woman. That is the Maya. Because the more you think the man is eternal, woman is eternal, it's an illusion. The more is the Maya of that relationship. More is the Maya of that relationship. So sometimes stupid people say, I'm not interested in any, sex with somebody. I don't know. They think that they are pure. Nonsense. They are thinking that, they say it's a platonic love. No gross sex is involved in it. Yeah, that is the biggest Maya. To think that I can get relational rasa in this material world. The man-woman rasa I can get. These are all modern concoctions. And it is a fact also. Probably it's a fact also. Probably they don't want, gross sex also. Because their body constitution doesn't permit. There's no such urge. Everybody does not have the same urge as far as gross sex is concerned. It's not any great elevation. To think, mutual relationship, to identify each other as body and have gender relationship, opposite gender relationship. That means you recognize this is a boy, this is a man, I am a woman. Finish. The illusion has begun there. Not a man, I am not a woman. He is not a man, he is not a woman. That is what we are supposed to practice.
Then how do you relationship, like what is the substitute? Somebody, if I get a thought, when we look at women, so what is exactly the relation like? You are saying that more subtle kind of thing.
You should, what exactly should come in your mind is, I am a tiny fellow in this world. In this world, Krishna has created so many things, so many beautiful things. And in this material world also, He has created so many illusory beautiful things. And there is a purpose for these illusory things Krishna has given, made a purpose. Now I am a brahmachari. That is not made for me. This is called dharma. Dharma means you know your small role. You don't think I am the Lord of all, I survey. Why you should be able to have the capacity to see everything and be unaffected? Who told you to see everything? There is an injunction that said that see everything and be unaffected. This is Mayavadi contamination. You should tell yourself, if I see everything, Lord's law is there. If I see, I will get affected. So I should see what I am supposed to see. That way you respect Lord's Maya also. Maya is dangerous. You respect Maya also. So unless one becomes humble, one cannot give up this sex desire. Humble means one understands the world is very, very complicated. Lord has created, all kinds of things in this material world. Maya's jala is very powerful. So I keep away. I keep association of Vaishnavas. I keep association Hare Krishna mantra. I keep association reading all these things, and that is safe for me in my journey back to Godhead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, last week you mentioned that a devotee can take pleasure in doing something painful. So, if a devotee takes pleasure in doing something painful as well as something pleasurable, then how would he be spending his dukkha currency, Prabhu? How would he be spending his dukkha currency?
In taking pleasure.
Yes, Prabhu. When he is taking pleasure in something painful.
He taking pleasure. See, when you take pleasure, I said there is spirit, there is yantra. You take pleasure at the spirit level. You take pleasure. Because pleasure potency is yours to take pleasure or not to take pleasure at your level. At the body level, still it is a tapasya.
Pain.
As far as material laws are concerned, that will see it as dukkha only. So you are taking pleasure in dukkha.
Yes, Prabhu.
You understand?
Yes, Prabhu.
जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.